Nishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvichesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. We wish everyone a very happy Sri Nrsimha Chaturdashi. So today, in this very special session today, we will be dedicating it to Lord Ugrasthana Nrsimhadev. We will prepare our mood, our consciousness, in order to welcome the Supreme Lord Nrsimhadev, whose appearance day we are celebrating here in the US today. And some special, and of course in India, you'll be celebrating it tomorrow. So we'll be sharing some special pastimes of Lord Nrsimhadev. We will be also speaking about how to observe this special day, how to fast, how to break our fast, and what are some of the special items and some of the favorite items that Lord Nrsimhadev loves that we can offer to him on this day. And the most important, what benefits do we derive by observing and celebrating this most auspicious day? And also we'll, in the end, we will discuss a little meditation that can stay with us so that Lord Nrsimhadev can continue to stay in our hearts, not just on this special day, but for all eternity. Hare Krishna.
Vaishakhasya Chaturdasyam Shuklayam Srinivekeshari Jatastadasyam Tatpujo Savam Kurvita Sabratam. This verse in Sri Hari Bhakti Vilas by Srila Sanatana Goswami is actually quoting from the Padma Purana, where it says, this is the Tithi, this is the day, today in the month of Vaishakh. It's the 14th day of the bright fortnight. And on this auspicious day, on this Tithi, Nrsimhadev appears. Therefore, on this auspicious Tithi, all devotees must observe it by fasting and offering prayers to Nrsimhadev.
So now we'll recite a very, very special Pranam Mantra to Lord Nrsimhadev. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Mahanrsimhaya
Damshrakara Vadanaya Ghora Rupaya Vajranakhaya Jwalamanine Mama Vignan Pachapachan Nama Bhayan Hindi Mama Shatrun Vitravaya Mama Sarvarishtan Prabhanjaya Chata Hana Chindi Mama Sarva Bhishtan Puraya Mam Raksha Ham Fat Swaha. O Nrsimhadev, whose form is terrible by sharp and long teeth, who is very fearful to see, with strong, large nails garlanded by flames. Destroy my obstacles and kick out my fear. Scatter my enemies. Destroy my karma. Flash, kill, cut. Ever fulfill my desire to serve you and protect me and all around me.
Protect me and all around me, which means that Lord Nrsimhadev, I'm begging for my protection and also for the people who are around me. Please protect everyone. That's what this mantra means, a very special mantra. This was told to us by His Grace Pankajangri Prabhu, and this mantra was very, very dear to him. And he would recite this mantra before he would start worshipping Lord Nrsimhadev every single day in Sri Mayapur Dham. A very special mantra.
So today, on this very special day of the appearance of Lord Nrsimhadev, we can see how the Supreme Lord can go up to any extent to protect his dear devotees. In this particular pastime, we see how Lord Brahma had agreed to all the conditions of Hiranyakashipu when he performed austerities, and all his conditions of not being killed in the day nor in the night, neither inside nor outside, neither by beast nor by man nor by any demigod nor by any weapons, neither in the sea nor in the land nor in the air. In fact, he first asked Brahma, please make me immortal. And Brahma said, I myself am not immortal, and I have a very long life, but I still have to leave up this position sometime. So how can I give you something that I don't have? So then Hiranyakashipu came up with this creative way. Can you give me a benediction that I may not be killed inside or outside? He said, yeah, I can do that. Can you give me a benediction that I may not be killed by a beast or a man or a demigod? He said, yes, I can do that. And he asked all these different conditions independently, which practically meant no one can kill him. But the Supreme Lord took care to meet all these conditions.
I mean, Krishna, he is the supremely independent Lord. He is Swarat, totally independent, completely independent. He doesn't have to literally follow or be under the, injunctions of anybody. But Krishna, because, his dear devotee, Lord Brahma, he promised, he gave his word for these things. The Lord took care of each and every one of these conditions. And he appeared in this most wondrous form of the half man, half lion incarnation as Lord Nrsimhadev.
Srila Jiva Jayadev Goswami, he sings beautifully in his Dashavatar Stotra. Tavakara Kamala Vare Nakha Adhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare.
Which means, O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of a half man, half lion, all glories to you, just as one can easily crush a wasp in between one's fingernails. So in the same way, the body of the wasp-like demon Hiranyakashipu has been ripped apart by the wonderful pointed nails on your beautiful lotus-like hands. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is described in Canto 7, Chapter 8, from text 30 to 34 as below. It is very, very ghastly, the way the battle between Lord Nrsimhadev and Hiranyakashipu is being described.
So we'll read from Srimad Bhagavatam, where it very wonderfully and graphically describes what actually happened. We all know that Hiranyakashipu fought with Lord Nrsimhadev, and Lord Nrsimhadev fought with his soldiers. But then what was actually happening? If you want like a video graphical description, these verses actually bring this out. Lord Nrsimhadev's mouth and mane were sprinkled with drops of blood, and his fierce eyes, full of anger, were impossible to look at. Licking the edge of his mouth with his tongue, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Nrsimhadev, decorated with a garland of intestines taken from Hiranyakashipu's abdomen, resembled a lion that has just killed an elephant.
So perfect.
Typically, we see when a lion and an elephant come in, it's a 50-50. Sometimes, mostly the elephant stomps on the lion or throws the lion with his tusks and so many things it can do. But here, a lion victorious over an elephant is very, very proud of its victory. It has become or defeated a large animal, elephant. So Nrsimhadev was ferocious and proud like that. The next verse says, the supreme personality of Godhead, who had many arms, first uprooted Hiranyakashipu's heart and then threw him aside and turned towards the demon soldiers. These soldiers had come in thousands to fight with him with raised weapons and were very faithful followers of Hiranyakashipu. But Lord Nrsimhadev killed all of them merely with the end of his nails.
Just like that.
The hair on Lord Nrsimhadev's head shook the clouds and scattered them here and there. His glaring eyes stole the effulgence of the luminaries in the sky, and his breathing just agitated the seas and oceans. Because of his roaring, all the elephants in the world began to cry in fear. Airplanes were thrown into outer space and the upper planetary system by what? By the hair of Nrsimhadev's head.
Imagine the giganticness of Lord Nrsimhadev. That because of the hair, airplanes were thrown away. Imagine.
Because Hiranyakashipu, his soldiers were coming on the ground, but there was the Air Force coming as well, Hiranyakashipu's Special Air Force. And all these planes were going inside Lord Nrsimhadev's hair. And Lord Nrsimhadev, when he would just flip his hair, all of them would just go all the way in the outer sky. Because of the pressure of Lord Nrsimhadev's lotus feet, the earth appeared to slip from its position, and all the hills and mountains sprang up due to his intolerable force. Because of Lord's bodily effulgence, both the sky and all the directions diminished in their natural illumination. And finally, the graphical representation ends by saying, manifesting a full effulgence and a fearsome countenance, Lord Nrsimhadev being very angry, finding no contestant to face his power and opulence, then sat down in the assembly hall on the excellent throne of the king. Because of fear and obedience, no one could come forward to serve the Lord directly.
Yes, we see how Lord Nrsimhadev, he stretched Hiranyakashipu across his laps, and with his long nails, he ripped apart the demon. And Hiranyakashipu died instantly, just like this, like a moment, on Nrsimhadev's blood-drenched lap. He was killed, neither in the land, nor in the sea, nor in the air, but on the lap of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He was killed neither during the day, nor during the night, but in the twilight at dusk. He was killed by neither a beast nor man, nor by the Lord's. He was killed by the Lord's, own hands, and was killed with no other weapons but by the ferocious nails, the sharp nails of Lord Nrsimhadev. Thus, Hiranyakashipu's benediction from Lord Brahma remained word to word intact, and he was killed by the personification of fear, Krishna himself, in his half-man, half-lion form of Lord Nrsimhadev.
The other most important aspect of the appearance of Lord Nrsimhadev is to protect his beloved devotee, Prahlad. Now we see in this pastime when Prahlad was burnt in fire, thrown from a cliff, trampled by the elephants, put in a pit of poisonous snakes. Krishna protected Prahlad personally, but he didn't appear at those times as Lord Nrsimhadev. But why now Lord Krishna came as Lord Nrsimhadev now? When from the pillar, earlier times, he saved Prahlad in different ways without personally appearing. Why did he appear now? The reason our acharyas explain is at this time, Lord Nrsimhadev did not necessarily come to protect Prahlad Maharaj's body, but actually the faith of Prahlad Maharaj. Because all the other times he protected his body, and the body is anyway, even if it is protected, it will perish one day or the other. But what is eternal is the faith remains along with the soul. And this time, Hiranyakashipu did not challenge the body of Prahlad Maharaj so much. He challenged the faith of Prahlad Maharaj. So Nrsimhadev came to protect the faith of Prahlad Maharaj. When Prahlad Maharaj said, yes, he is there in this pillar, Nrsimhadev is in this pillar, Hiranyakashipu wanted to mock him, and he broke the pillar, and from there came roaring Nrsimhadev in order to protect the faith, the word of Prahlad Maharaj. Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. It is very rare to find someone who has such faith, such love, such affection for Krishna as Prahlad Maharaj has. We know from 7th canto, 5th chapter, 32nd verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Nai sammatistava durukrama gring gring sprisati anartha pagamo yadartha mahiya sampadarajo vishekam nishkinchananam navrinitayava. Unless they smear upon their bodies the dust of the lotus feet of a Vaishnava, completely freed from material contamination. Persons very much inclined towards materialistic life cannot be attached to the lotus feet of the Lord, who is glorified for his uncommon activities. Rajobhisheka. Unless we do abhisheka of the Raja, of the dust of the lotus feet of the Vaishnava, only by becoming Krishna conscious and taking shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord in this way, one can be freed from material contamination.
So we understand that Sri Prahlad Maharaj was a devotee of this kind of stature. And as he had blessings, why? How did he become a devotee of this stature? Because he had the blessings and the mercy of his beloved spiritual master, Srila Narad Muni. And Prahlad Maharaj, he gave all the credits of his spirituality to his Guru Maharaj, to Srila Narad Muni. And this was demonstrated personally by his own activities. You see, when the demon Hiranyakashipu was killed by Lord Nrsimhadev, all the devatas arrived there, even Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Narad Muni, Goddess Lakshmi, everybody appeared there, all of them. They were actually very afraid to go and in the audience of the Lord, to approach the Lord. They were very, very afraid. Because the Lord, he was roaring so angrily. He was really, really angry at that time. And that time, Lord Brahma, he requested little Prahlad Maharaj that you go, my dear little boy, you go and calm down the Lord, pacify the Lord. So Prahlad Maharaj, he said, okay, yes, the Lord came for me. I will go now and see how I pacify the Lord. No, Prahlad Maharaj, what did he do? Before even going and coming in front of the audience of the Lord, little Prahlad first came to his Guru Maharaj, to Narad Muni. And he offered his respectful obeisances to Narad Muni. And only after receiving the permission and the blessings from his Guru Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj approached the Supreme Lord Nrsimhadev. Prahlad, he did think even for a moment that, oh, look, I'm so great. You know, the Lord came personally for me. He didn't come for you. He didn't come for you. All you demigods, nobody. He came for me. And now, Lord Brahma, you've got a good intelligence, huh, that you recognize this. And you told me to go and approach Lord Nrsimhadev. No. Little Prahlad did not think any of this. There was absolutely no trace of any pride in little Prahlad. Rather, Prahlad Maharaj's mood was that all this is happening to me just because of the mercy of my Guru Maharaj. This is what Prahlad Maharaj is teaching to us by his own example, that when we get some little recognition in our own spiritual lives, we must give all the credit to our spiritual masters and never think that we have outgrown their mercy. Because whatever we are made out of the mercy of our spiritual master.
So we know the very famous pastime of how Lord Nrsimhadev appeared from the pillar on Hiranyakashipu, challenging the faith of Prahlad Maharaj. But there are several other pastimes of how Lord Nrsimhadev appeared in different forms in different ways. One pastime is of Panakala Nrsimha, which is who is present in Mangalgiri in the Guntur district in Andhra Pradesh. And there are actually several different um, pastimes of Lord Nrsimhadev. In this pastime of Panakala Nrsimha, one time there was a demon called Namuchi. He had received special boon from Lord Brahma. It is said that Namuchi was actually one of the generals of Hiranyakashipu, and he wanted to take the revenge of Lord Nrsimhadev killing Hiranyakashipu. So he wanted to challenge Lord Nrsimhadev again. So this Namuchi, he also prayed to Brahma, and this time this Namuchi asked just two benedictions. He said, I should not be killed by anything dry nor anything wet. Just give me this benediction. And then Brahma gave the benediction, and this Namuchi became ruthless. He was such a menace to people, to the devas, to the demigods, to the saints. And Indra, with support from Vishnu, decided to kill this Namuchi. When Indra came with his army, Namuchi was fighting, and eventually Namuchi, his army was becoming lost. And because his army was losing, Namuchi gave up his physical appearance and he assumed a small size. Huge Namuchi became very small and hid in a cave. And then instead of going to the cave, Indra came to Lord Vishnu. We can't find him. So, and even if we find him, we can't kill him. First of all, because he's so tiny. And secondly, we can't kill him with anything dry nor wet.
Imagine. I mean, even the possibility of the nail is gone now. I mean, anything dry or wet. I mean, this is even more dangerous than what Hiranyakashipu had asked to some extent.
So with this, Vishnu took his Sudarshan disc, and because of his Sudarshan disc, with the power of his Sudarshan disc, he created huge waves in the ocean. And one of these giant tidal waves came to this place near the cave, and the foam of the ocean wave went inside the cave. And with that ocean foam, he was killed. Namuchi was killed. Foam is neither dry nor wet. It is in between. And so with the foam, he was killed. And then he came as Nrsimhadev. Lord Nrsimhadev appeared there, and he was in such a rage with unbearable heat that was radiating from him. And later, then there was Abhishek performed on him of nectar, of Amrita. Amrita Abhishek was performed, and he cooled down. And then he said, I will stay here. But in Satya Yuga, Abhishek was performed of Amrit. In Treta Yuga, the Abhishek was performed with ghee. In Dwapar Yuga, it is performed with milk. And he said, in Kali Yuga, I'll be satisfied with Panaka. Panaka is a drink made up of jaggery water. And so that's how he became known as Panaka Nrsimhadev, especially in Kali Yuga. And there is a wonderful cave in Mangalgiri. You go there and you get the Panaka, the jaggery water, and you pour in his mouth inside the cave.
Mouth of Lord Nrsimhadev. And if you take even a small container or a big container, if you go up and if you pour that container of Panaka into the mouth of Lord Nrsimhadev, as soon as the container reaches half the content, you'll hear a burp that Lord Nrsimhadev is satisfied, and the rest of it is Mahaprasad. So this is the glory of Panaka Nrsimhadev. who appeared to kill Namuchi in a very, very mysterious way by the foam that is created from the ocean. Imagine killing someone with foam. Supreme Personality of Godhead, anything is possible for him. So now let us see what are some of the glories of observing Sri Nrsimha Chaturdashi Vrata. It is said that Prahlad Klesha Nashaya Yahi Punya Chaturdashi Pujaye Tatra Yat Neha Hare Prahladam Agrataha.
It is proper to first worship Prahlad before worshipping Nrsimha, because the holy 14th lunar day of the bright fortnight has appeared in order to remove the distress of Prahlad. It is written in this Brihan Nrsimha Purana, which is quoted in Hari Bhakti Vilas, that one time Prahlad, when Nrsimhadev appeared, at that time Prahlad asked Nrsimhadev, O Supreme Lord, I bow down to you. O Lord Nrsimhadev, I offer my obeisances to you. I am your devotee. O Lord of Lords, I want to express to you my heartfelt inquiry. Tell me, how did I develop such intense devotion for you? Even I don't know. How did I become your such an exalted devotee? So Nrsimhadev said, very good question. You are a greatly learned one, my dear son. Listen carefully. I will explain to you the reason for your devotion to me and why that devotion has made you very dear to me. In the ancient times, you were born as a Brahmana, but you did not study any of the scriptures. Your name was Vasudev, and you became attached to a prostitute. In that birth, you became so attached to a prostitute that you did not bother to perform any pious activity except for a single vow in relation to me. As a result of observing that vow, you have developed exalted devotion in me.
Then Prahlad Maharaj said, Oh Lord Nrsimhadev, oh Achyuta, who was my father in that lifetime? What was my duty? And how did I observe your vow? Please, please kindly tell me all this in detail. And Lord Nrsimhadev continued to speak. He said, there was a very wonderful Brahmana in ancient times who was very well versed in Vedic literature. And he lived in the city of Avantipura. And he was known as Vasu Sharma. So this pious Brahmana, he used to perform fire sacrifices every day, and he was very, very pious. But and he also had his wife. Her name was Sushila, and she was also very, very dedicated, humbly dedicated to her husband. And that exalted Brahmana Vasu Sharma, he begot 5 sons from Sushila. And among those 5 sons, you were the youngest. But you had no Brahmanical traits in you, my dear Prahlad. At that time, you were Vasudeva, and you became attached to a prostitute. And because you became attached, you were accustomed to drinking wine and performing other sinful activities. You never engaged in the process of, reading any kind of Vedas. You spent most of your time in the house of that prostitute. And one day, you and that prostitute quarreled, and because of that quarrel, you missed your meal. You were so angry that you did not want to eat anything that day, and as a result, you unknowingly observed a sacred vow in relation to me. That day was my appearance day. It was Nrsimha Chaturdashi. Because of that quarrel with that prostitute, he did not sleep also that entire night. And the prostitute also did not eat anything, nor did she sleep that night, because she was also angry with you because of unknowingly performing this vow in relation to me throughout the day and night. Both of you became purified and you accumulated heaps of pious merit. Because of the strength of observing this vow, the demigods are actually able to enjoy in the heavenly planets. Because of being empowered, because of performing this vow, Brahma was able to create all the moving and non-moving creatures. Mahadev,
when he heard tapa. Tapa, two words. These are the first two words of creation revealed to Brahma. Tapa means tapasya, means perform austerity. That's what he's saying. Brahma was able to create everything because he followed tapa.
And Mahadeva, he also performed this vow of fasting for me on my appearance day so that he could kill the great demon Tripurasura. That because of such, such great power, such great merit is received by anybody who performs and observes my day. And because of the influence of this vow, all of them attained perfection of life. That prostitute who fasted unknowingly also became devoted to me, and she enjoyed great happiness within the three worlds. And it is because of this reason, my dear child, that this vow that you performed in relation to me, that you have become so dear to me. You came to render devotional service unto me. And you will, at the end of this life, my dear Prahlad, you will also return to my abode and enter into intimate communion with me. And just this special life that you have come into, you are actually my eternal associate, Prahlad. But last life, as Vasudev Sharma, you also, in this eternal associate, you have also entered. And you have come here just to propagate devotional service to me. After completing this task of preaching the glories of my devotional service, you will again come and join me in my eternal abode. So those who observe this supreme vow in relation to me, Lord Nrsimhadev said, will never return to this material existence, even in hundreds and millions of kalpas. Jai, 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 Lord Nrsimhadev Bhagavan ki Jai. Shri Nrsimha Chaturdashi Maha Maha Mahotsav ki Jai.
So it is very important that we follow this fast today, and we heard from Lord Nrsimhadev himself about the glories of observing this fast even unknowingly. But what to speak if we knowingly, with our full consciousness and love, perform this fast by listening to the pastimes of the Lord while listening and hearing and chanting. It said we must fast completely, even from water, the entire day, and then break our fast with Ekadasi Prasad after sunset. And if one cannot do Nirjala fasting, then one can take fruits. But at least some form of fasting must be done in order to please the Lord on this particular day.
Some of the favorite foodstuffs that can be offered to Lord Nrsimhadev is mangoes. Lord Nrsimhadev is known to love mangoes ripe and unripe. He loves to have any kind of mango chutneys, mango pickles, and any kind of items that are made with even ripened mangoes. Lord Nrsimhadev loves mangoes. Panakam, as we know, is a very, very favorite drink of Lord Nrsimhadev, which is made with jaggery and with ginger and with lemon juice. So please stay tuned. We will be sharing the recipe for making wonderful panakam in the groups as well as on our Facebook page. So please stay tuned to that. Now let us conclude our session with a beautiful meditation on Lord Nrsimhadev and his wonderful form. You see, Lord Nrsimhadev, his body begins to shine when it is massaged with cooling oils like sandalwood and cuss. His form is exquisite, very slender and perfectly formed. He looks so powerful, but yet very graceful. The Lord's knees are bent, ready as if he is just ready to pounce, ready to spring forth. And his navel is very deep and his chest is very broad. Lord Nrsimhadev's transcendental body is very smooth. It is very soft to the touch and very much appealing to the eye. He is bedecked with bracelets and other ornaments, and the Lord has 8 arms in 6 hands. He holds a sword, lotus flower, disc, conch shell, club, and a shield. And to keep the promise of Lord Brahma, His front two hands, they have no weapons, just his nails. Now, there are some people who misunderstand why we worship Lord Nrsimhadev. His Grace Pankajangri Prabhu was sharing this, and he said that sometimes devotees say that we worship Nrsimhadev, that is in Vaikuntha Bhava, and that the worship of Lord Nrsimhadev cannot take us to Goloka Vrindavan, which is the Lord Supreme and his most intimate abode. But Lord Nrsimhadev, this is a secret, that Lord Nrsimhadev is particularly inclined towards the devotees of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna, because Lord Nrsimhadev is Krishna himself, appearing especially in this form to reciprocate with our desires, to remove all obstacles in our devotional life, as Srila Prabhupada himself has quoted in many, many times. And if one can always raise his hands and call out with great love the names of Nitai Gaura and Radha Madhava, that is really wonderful. But if there is something in our heart that is stopping us from raising our hands spontaneously and approaching the Lord to spontaneously cry out to the Lord, why not approach the Supreme Lord as Nrsimhadev and pray to him that with his sharp nails he may pierce those crooked desires in our heart and that he may throw them away. That is the main function of Lord Nrsimhadev.
So in this regard, about Lord Nrsimhadev and Radha Krishna, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written 5 beautiful prayers in Sri Navadvip Bhava Taranga for receiving the mercy of Lord Nrsimhadev. Well, how should we pray to Lord Nrsimhadev? What are the prayers? According to Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta, we must pray. These are certainly assurance to all the devotees that worship of Lord Nrsimhadev is purely in line of aspiring love and devotion to Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. It's not to Lord Nrsimhadev in Vaikuntha, but Lord Nrsimhadev as Radha and Krishna. So these prayers are as follows, which it has, we'll just read the first line and then we'll read the meaning. E dushta hridaye kama adiri puchaya kutinati pratisthasa satya sadaraya hridaya shodhana ar krishnera vasana nrsimha charane mora eito kamana. Within my sinful heart, the 6 enemies headed by lust, which is lust, anger, pride, greed, anger, attachment, perpetually reside, as well as duplicity, the desire for fame, plus sheer cunningness. At the lotus feet of Lord Nrsimha, I hope that he will mercifully purify my heart and give me the desire to serve Lord Krishna. This is Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur recommending, this is how we pray to Lord Nrsimhadev.
The second one is, Kandiya Nrsimha Pade Manghibo Kokhono, Nirapode Navaddipe Jugalo Bhajano, Bhaya Bhaya Pai Jar Darshane She Hori, Prashanna Hoibe Kobe Moro Daya Kori.
Weeping, I will beg at the lotus feet of Lord Nrsimha for the benediction of worshipping Radha and Krishna in Navadvip, perfectly safe and free from all difficulties. When will this Lord Hari, whose terrible form strikes fear into fear itself, ever become pleased and show me his mercy?
The third one is, Jaddapi Bhishana Murti Dushta Jiva Prati, Praladadi Krishna Bhakta Jane Bhadra Oti, Kobe ba Prashanna Hoye She Kripa Bachane, Nirbhaya Koribe Ei Murho Akinchane.
Even though Lord Nrsimha is terrifying towards the sinful souls, he offers great auspiciousness unto the devotees of Lord Krishna, headed by Prahlad Maharaj. When will he be pleased to speak words of compassion unto me, a worthless fool, and thereby make me fearless?
The fourth one is, Swachhande Baisho He Vatsha Shri Gauranga Dhame, Jugala Bhajana Hua sorry, Jugala Bhajana Ho, Roti Ho Name, Momo Bhakta Kripa Bole, Bigno Jabe Dur, Shuddha Chitte Bhajo Radha Krishna Rasapur.
He will say, dear child, sit down freely, live happily in Sri Gauranga Dham. May you nicely worship the divine couple and may you develop loving attachment for their holy names. By the mercy of my devotees, all obstacles are cast far away. With a purified heart, just perform the worship of Radha and Krishna, for such worship overflows with sweet nectar.
This is spoken by Lord Nrsimhadev himself. The last one, the last meditation is Ei boli kobe mor mostako upor Shio Shri Charan Harshe Dhoribo Ishwar Omoni Jugal Preme Shaktiko Bikare Dharaya Lutibo Ami Shri Nrsimhadare.
Saying this, will that Lord delightedly place his own divine lotus feet upon my head? I will experience sublime love for the divine couple Radha Krishna and undergo the ecstatic transformations called Sattvika. Falling on the ground, I will roll about the door of Sri Nrsimha's temple.
Jai Nrsimhadev Bhagwan ki jai. So on this most auspicious day, we pray to Lord Nrsimhadev to remove our hidden and deeply ingrained anarthas. When we commit Vaishnava aparad, Dham aparad, Nam aparad, Seva aparad, and so many different kinds of offenses that we commit, it makes our very own hearts very, very hard, just like stones. So we pray to Lord Nrsimhadev, who is very powerful, that he will cut through our stone-like heart and purify us of all the anarthas. You see, a bumblebee, it scratches and breaks flowers and takes their nectar. Similarly, Lord Nrsimhadev cuts through our anarthas and accepts the nectar of the love of the jivas. Nrsimhadev presides over Vatsalya ras. This is the way, this is the mood of Lord Nrsimhadev, that he is the protector. So he is the personification of Vatsalya ras, of parental affection. In this regard, there's a very wonderful pastime that we see in Mayapur. Lord Ugrasthana Nrsimhadev, he wears the tiger claw pendant, and not one, but he sometimes wears 3 or 4 tiger claw pendants. And one time, a senior disciple of Srila Prabhupada had asked us that Lord Nrsimhadev, why does he wear tiger claw pendants? Because actually, tiger claw pendants it's meant for protecting children. You see, Mother Jashoda, she used to put tiger claw pendant upon her little Kanha, because Kanha was always getting attacked by so many demons. So one time, Mother Jashoda, she put tiger claw pendant on her little Krishna, so that he would always remain protected, remain sheltered, and all the evil eye would be cast away. That's why Mother Jashoda would put tiger claw pendant. So the Srila Prabhupada disciple asked us that why Lord Nrsimhadev is supposed to be the remover of all kinds of evil eye. So why does he put on tiger claw pendant? So we said that we will ask this question to Pankaj Angri Prabhu, and we asked this question to His Grace Pankaj Angri Prabhu. And what a wonderful answer he had given us. He said that yes, no doubt that Lord Nrsimhadev, he is the protector for all the devotees. He is the protector, that he destroys all kinds of obstacles on the path of one's devotional service. But then the devotees, they also feel that the Lord also needs, our love, our shelter, our, good wishes, and ward him off of all of the evil eyes. So devotees, out of their pure love for Lord Nrsimhadev, they have offered this tiger claw pendant so that the Lord Nrsimhadev should not be, getting any kind of evil eye from anyone, that Lord Nrsimhadev should be protected. This is the loving reciprocation between the Lord and his dear devotees. So what beautiful exchange of love between Lord Nrsimhadev. So we will conclude our session here today. If there's any questions, comments, or reflections, we can take that now. Thank you very much. We see that many devotees have joined us today, and we are very, very grateful to each and every one of you for giving us your association. But please, we may now unmute the lines and we may ask any questions. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. And before we do that, today we are actually just also announced that we are celebrating the birthdays of very wonderful devotees. Ananga Mohini Gopika, today is her birthday. And we are also celebrating the birthday of our very dearest Ma and Baba. Today is in fact Ma's birthday. And Baba's birthday was yesterday. So Ma Baba, we offer our respectful obeisances to both of you, wishing you a very, very, very happy birthday. Hare Krishna.
Jai Nrsimhadev, may Lord Nrsimhadev protect you and also all of us through, and your blessings may remain upon us.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So we can open up the lines. Yes, Keshavi, Hare Krishna.
Your voice
Humble obeisances unto your lotus feet.
Hare Krishna.
Wonderful class, Mataji, on Nrsimha Chaturdashi. And we also wish you a happy Nrsimha Chaturdashi. And first, I want to wish Amma and Baba many, many happy Krishna conscious birthday on this special day. They need to shower their mercy on us so that we can progress in our Krishna consciousness and serve our Shiksha Guru and Guru Maharaj. Mataji, you can hear me, right?
Yes,
yes,
loud and clear. Yes.
Okay. Mataji, I have one question, Mataji. Like on Nrsimha Chaturdashi, we need to break our fast with Ekadasi, Prashadam Mataji, because here we break with grains.
Okay. Well, you see, it is recommended that if you can break your fast with Anukalpa Prasad, with Ekadashi Prasad, especially where temples where there is worship of Lord Nrsimhadev, deity of Lord Nrsimhadev is present, those places especially are recommended that if the fast can be broken with Ekadashi Prasad, with Anukalpa Prasad, just like we do on Janmashtami and on Gaur Purnima. And so these are the only three festivals that Ekadashi fasting, breaking our fast with Ekadashi Prasad is recommended. And some centers I do know, we know that they do not follow, on Nrsimha Chaturdashi, they do not follow breaking fast with Ekadashi Prasad, but it is better if you can do that. Because as Mayapur is home for all the devotees, Mayapur is said to be the home for all devotees, and because Lord Ugrasthana Nrsimhadev is present in Sri Mayapur Dham, it is better if we can, break our fast with Anukalpa Prasad, Ekadashi Prasad on Nrsimha Chaturdashi day. But if your center is doing grain prasad, it's perfectly all right too. There's no real hard and fast rule on that, but of course it is better.
But Hari Bhakti Vilas recommends, Sanatana Goswami recommends Anukalpa or
Ekadashi Prasad.
Mataji, your voices are breaking. It's only for me or for everyone?
Oh, so it's breaking? Is it okay
Yes,
now?
Mataji. I don't know. We need to find out like others also. It's same problem.
No, Mataji, it's absolutely fine.
Oh, okay. So maybe it's my network problem over here. Thank you so much, Mataji. And one more thing you are mentioning that, Mataji, by worshipping Nrsimha Bhagwan, is that we will go to Nrsimha planet or Goloka planet? That's I didn't understand properly, Mataji.
Well, it is that we will go to Goloka Vrindavan.
Yes, in Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta, we worship Lord Nrsimhadev as Krishna. But when Krishna is coming to protect, he is Lord Nrsimhadev. So when we worship Lord Nrsimhadev, we go to Goloka Vrindavan because we ask Lord Nrsimhadev to protect our devotion to Radha and Krishna. So that's the mood, as Bhaktivinoda Thakur also said. So yes, there is some description by Srila Jiva Goswami in his such sandarbhas that one Nrsimhadev from Vaikuntha comes from Sankarshana, and Nrsimhadev that we worship comes from Pradyumna, and the Pradyumna Nrsimhadev we pray to protect our devotion to Radha and Krishna, protect our fear of this material life, so that we can be engaged in Radha and Krishna, as Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur said. So that's why we will, by worshipping Lord Nrsimhadev in this mood, we'll go to Goloka Vrindavan.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, last one, please, because the voice was breaking for me continuously because weather is not that much good here. So I didn't hear that one, how Panakala Nrsimha Bhagavan has killed that demon. I missed that one, little, like how he killed. You said like, not through dry or wet, he cannot. So
Yes.
what happened at the end? I missed that one.
You could also hear on YouTube later when this is posted. But in short, he killed using foam weapon. He used foam as his weapon. The foam comes from the ocean when there is, or if you go on the beach, you see foam that is created. So he used great tidal waves to come there, and the foam went inside, and that foam killed Namuchi. Now it's very, foam doesn't kill, but that was the foam that killed Namuchi. It's neither dry nor wet.
Oh, thank you, Prabhuji. Only this part only. All story I heard, Prabhu. Thank you, Mataji, Prabhuji.
Thank you so
Because
much.
of your ask, tomorrow we will do our austerity very nicely.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Anjali, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Dandavat
Hare
Pranam. Wishing
Krishna.
you a very, very happy Nursing Chaturdashi, and to everybody also. And wishing Ma and Baba a very, very happy birthday, Krishna consciousness birthday. And today's Ma's actual birthday, and yesterday I think so in India was Baba's birthday.
Yes.
So I did wish them on WhatsApp, but like, so we are just, I saw Ma was there, but now she was live and now I
She's
can't
here.
see her.
I think she's here. They're still
She's
here.
here.
Yeah,
They're still here. Okay, so wishing them a very, very happy birthday. And thank you for taking out that time. How you are feeling? How's your eye? It still
Much
looks
better.
puffed up and much better.
Much better. Thank you.
Okay. And as you had narrated the pastime so beautifully, and you had guided us, and I still remember last time you had mentioned that we make a special drink for Nrsimhadev Bhagwanji because he likes something with something
Jaggery, the Panaka drink.
yeah,
Panakam.
panaka drink,
Yes.
panakam. So I think so, like,
Yes, we will be sharing it in the groups and on our
okay.
Facebook page. So the recipe will be shared shortly.
Yeah, so
please
it
stay
is for us tomorrow. So we will
Yes,
do the
yes.
fasting tomorrow,
Yes.
and then we break it after we break it after moonrise, right?
At
Or
dusk.
sunset.
At dusk.
Dusk.
At,
Okay.
After sunset. After sunset.
Okay. After
Yes.
sunset, we can break our fast with the Kadashi Prasadam.
Yes.
So that we can do it.
Yes.
And his favorite food also you can put for us?
Yes, mangoes.
Mangoes.
Any kind of mangoes. Yes.
Okay.
Ripe mangoes, raw mangoes, drink, raw mangoes, pickles, chutneys, anything. Anything with mangoes is very dear to Lord Nrsimhadev.
Okay, fine. So, and anything else special we need to do? And I remember 108 names you had said that we have to chant.
Yes, yes, we should chant the 108 names of Lord Nrsimhadev today. And as much as Nrsimha Katha we can listen to, and we can read from Srimad Bhagavatam from the 7th canto regarding the appearance of Lord Nrsimhadev. Just a few verses on that we can read. So that will be very nice.
Sure. So yeah, so let Lord will protect all of us, and we just need to surrender ourselves. So this just teaches in short, which is my takeaway, is that don't put your mind to it, because nothing works, like
Yes.
the way the people that we can say, but he will find the way to go back. So it's just a thing, just surrender yourselves completely the way Lord Maharaj did, and then
Yes.
everything is fine.
Very
And
true.
please do take good care of yourself, and wishing for you a very, very speedy recovery.
Thank you, Dee. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hare
Yes.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai Shri Radhe. Anybody else? Thank you so much, Vidya, for your beautiful comment. Thank you. Anyone else?
There are no other questions. Radha.
Radha. Yes, Radha.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisance.
How
After a
is
long
Satish
time.
Prabhu? How are the kids?
All are fine, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you,
Wonderful.
sir. Mataji, you have just told that we can read Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 7, right?
Yes.
Mataji, actually, the previous, we didn't complete the Bhagavatams yet.
Mhm.
Second or third or fourth. Is it okay
Mhm.
to read directly 7th Canto?
Yes, especially the chapter on the appearance of Lord Nrsimhadev. Just read from there. You're not that you're jumping, you're not in the mood that you're going straight ahead and reading the entire Srimad Bhagavatam from there onwards. You're not skipping, but because it's an auspicious day, you are just reciting a few verses from that chapter on the appearance of Lord Nrsimhadev.
And if you read Srila Prabhupada's purports as well, he will make sure that he links it all of those to the basics of Krishna consciousness. And so we will not, if we are fearful that we may go astray because we are not doing it in sequence, Srila Prabhupada's purports will tie it together.
Sure. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Please
Brita.
accept, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please give Mama and Baba the happy birthday wishes. So wishing them very much success in their lives to continue.
Thank you.
Yes, you both look so beautiful. Thank you so much for this wonderful, wonderful session. It was very informative. No matter how many times I hear it, I always learn so much more, like I've never heard anything before. So grateful. Also, can you please post the meditations as well?
Sure,
We'll
do that. We'll do that, especially those 5 prayers, right?
Yes, the 5 meditations, please.
Yes,
Okay.
we'll definitely do that. Definitely do that.
Okay. Please have
Thank
a blissful Nrsimha day if you're in stay.
Thank you so much.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Same to you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Anybody
Okay.
else?
If there are no other questions or comments, we can end here. Wish you all a very happy Nrsimha Chaturdashi. May we all celebrate it for the pleasure of the Lord and all the Vaishnavas.
Hare Krishna.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha
Krishna Sindhudevacha
patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Nantakoti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Satish Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Radha.
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna
Pranam.
Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hari Bol beta. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Mataji,
Krishna
Prabhuji,
Chapuna.
Dandavat
Thank
Pranam.
you. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji and Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Very good. Very nice pushing. Very
Prabhuji,
good.
Dandavat Pranam.
Very good. Very good. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Prabhuji, could you please tell me, does Nrsimhadev have a favorite color? I forgot to ask that.
Well, he loves the color of fire, you know,
Okay.
the
Okay.
flames. Once in Mayapur, Lord Nrsimhadev was offered a flame outfit, you know,
Okay.
so he loves that color of the flame, and of course, yellow. And
And the favorite flower is spider lily.
Okay.
Spider lilies are favorite flowers of Lord Nrsimhadev.
Thank you very much. Haribol.
Hare
Haribol.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you.